Today, he commands more than $20 million a movie. He sits on the board of a multi-billion-dollar sports empire, and he owns a tequila brand that could soon make him a billionaire. But before any of that, he was a broke football player with $7 in his pocket, no safety net, and no plan. This is the story of Dwayne Johnson, and how a man who got cut from professional football turned attention into ownership, and ownership into a fortune. He was born into wrestling. His father and grandfather both performed in the ring, so the business was already in his blood. But young Dwayne did not want to be a wrestler. He wanted to play football. He earned a scholarship, played college ball, and studied criminology and physiology, dreaming of a shot at the NFL. That shot never came. He was cut from a professional team early on, and it left him with almost nothing. Reports say he had $7 to his name. Just a family business he had spent his whole life trying to avoid. So he stepped into the ring. This is where the story changes. He joined the WWF in the mid-1990s as Rocky Maivia. It did not go smoothly. Fans rejected the character, but he reinvented himself as The Rock, and by the early 2000s, he was arguably the biggest star in the entire industry, headlining pay-per-views and selling out arenas. But wrestling paychecks, no matter how big, are still just paychecks. They pay once. They do not multiply on their own. The turning point came in an unexpected place, a comedy stage. In 2000, he hosted Saturday Night Live. Wrestlers were not supposed to be funny, but he was. Hollywood noticed. A year later, he appeared in The Mummy Returns, and the response was strong enough that he was handed his own spin-off, The Scorpion King, for a paycheck that broke records for a first-time leading man. That was the moment fame started converting into film money. But the real money was still years away. Over the next decade, he built a run of commercial hits, from family comedies to the Fast and Furious franchise. He became known not just as an actor, but as a producer, taking back-end points on projects instead of just flat fees. That single decision is where the story really begins. A paycheck pays once. Back-end points pay every time the movie makes money. Ownership is different from a wage, because ownership can keep paying for years after the work is done. By the mid-2000s, he was tracked as one of the highest-paid actors on the planet, often topping $100 million in a single year. Then came the biggest move of his career, and it happened far from any movie set. In 2020, he co-founded Teremana Tequila. Instead of licensing his face to a liquor brand for a flat fee, he took an ownership stake, reportedly between 30 and 40%. It was a bet that building something he owned would outperform anything he could be paid to promote. The bet worked. By the mid-2020s, industry estimates placed Teremana's valuation near $2 billion. Johnson's slice of that company could be worth more than his entire acting career combined. Fame gave him access. Ownership is what built the fortune. There were setbacks. Some recent films, including The Smashing Machine, underperformed at the box office. His football league venture, the XFL, has had a turbulent business history. Not every bet paid off. But in 2024, he was appointed to the board of TKO Group Holdings, the company formed when WWE and UFC merged. He received $30 million in TKO stock, and just as importantly, he got back the trademark rights to his own name, which WWE had owned since the year 2000. Getting your own name back means every future dollar made from that brand flows back to him directly. So what is Dwayne Johnson actually worth today? Estimates vary, with some placing the number around $800 million, built largely on his tequila stake, his film earnings, and his TKO equity. The exact figure is not public. He did not get rich from wrestling paychecks or movie salaries alone. He got rich the moment he stopped renting out his fame and started owning pieces of the businesses built around it. He went from $7 and no plan, to back-end points, to board seats, to a tequila company that might make him a billionaire. Because he learned, earlier than most, that the real money was never in being paid. It was in owning what people were willing to pay for.